I'm Rachel Bell, and this is Your Last Meal, the show where celebrities share stories about the foods they love most, and we dig into the history, culture, or science of those meals with experts from around the world. Today on the program, director, producer, actor, writer, and filmmaker, Jay Duplass. Jay and his brother Mark Duplass have a production company, and together they have produced over 40 films and created TV shows like Togetherness on HBO. But over the past few years, Jay has struck out on his own, and his new film, See You When I See You, premiered at the Sundance Film Festival earlier this year. I got to see it at the Seattle International Film Festival, and I really, really liked it. Jay is a big camper and hiker who is piece by piece attempting to hike the Pacific Crest Trail, a 2,600-mile thru hike that a few thousand people attempt to complete each year. He's also been a trail angel. So I chat with Barney and Sandy Mann, who are probably the most famous PCT trail angels. And if the words PCT and trail angels don't mean anything to you, don't worry, it will all make sense later in the show. But right now, let's jump into my conversation with Jay Duplass. Jay grew up in New Orleans with his parents and younger brother Mark. Jay and Mark have one of those enviable sibling relationships where they have a built-in best friend. They were so close when they were kids that they chose to share a bed, even though they each had their own. And for many years, their filmmaking careers were completely intertwined. What was childhood like as far as eating? Who was cooking at home?
My mom was a stay-at-home mom, and she grew up cooking and eating Italian food, but they were on like the healthy side of Italian food, which is a weird thing to do. We definitely ate Italian food, and we definitely ate French food, and definitely ate seafood and Cajun food and stuff like that. But it was always like both healthy and quick version of cooking that, because I don't know, my parents are like kind of health nuts, which is a weird thing to be when you grow up in New Orleans. But boy, it's hard to do when everything tastes so good and is just steeped in so much butter.
Yeah. Did you have that situation where you had the healthy lunches and you wanted to trade with other kids?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, my friends would be coming to school with like a bowl of leftover shrimp etouffee, and I would have like a turkey on wheat with homemade mayonnaise, you know what I mean?
Wow, which you would appreciate now, but at the time.
I would appreciate now. But yeah, at the time, yeah, I was very jealous of everybody else's lunches for sure. I think everybody's jealous of everybody else's lunches, to be honest.
Were you plagued with carob? Because I feel like that was such an 80s
Oh,
thing.
yeah. I had a lot of carob in my world. A lot of trail mix with carob in it. You don't need chocolate. You can do carob. No, I need chocolate.
A trick. It is not chocolate.
It is not. But you know what? The chocolate we had then wasn't chocolate either. I mean, like I ate a Hershey's bar now, and I'm like, this is chocolate flavored wax. That's what this tastes like to me.
Yes, it's rubbery wax.
Yeah, it's gross.
Did you see that story recently that the grandson of Reese's demanded that they go back to using real chocolate because he found out there actually wasn't any chocolate in Reese's anymore? They changed the recipe.
I'm not surprised.
This is the kind of news that I read.
Yeah.
Hard-hitting.
It's a hot story. Hard-hitting hot story.
Yeah. What would your last meal be?
I think it fits in well with what we've been talking about. It would be my mom's healthy, what I call new Italian lasagna. Now, new Italian is a cultural aesthetic that spans all milieus. Okay. So, for instance, my parents, when they got a new house after Mark and I moved out, it was a really nice house, but like my mom did some faux gold on the ceiling.
Ooh.
There might have been 3 lions' heads spitting water into the pool in the backyard. The pool may have looked more like a Roman bath than it did. You know what I mean? Like,
do they have columns?
Yes, columns.
Marble
columns.
This is like when Cribs was on in the 90s on MTV, and you would see some rapper or whatever, someone who grew up poor, and then they got money, and it's that line like, money can't buy taste, and everyone had columns and gold.
Marble columns. You know, there's a whole SNL. Yeah, you know, marble. What you need is a marble column, especially a marble column that has no structural.
Yes. Hollow.
influence whatsoever. It is absolutely, or it's totally marble, and what's on top of it? A vase, a vase. So my parents, there's a lot of travertine bathrooms. You know what I mean? A
What's
lot of,
that?
it's like giant beige tiles that are.
Oh,
There's a lot of crossover with The Sopranos, and so I call it New Italian.
yeah.
So my mom's version of New Italian lasagna is not only are you not making your own pasta, you are not cooking your pasta in water. You can buy these sheets where you lay them down and you bake it and they absorb the
Yes.
cheese and the sauce, and that's enough to bring the noodle to life, right?
And no
That's
boil.
essentially
Yes.
no boil noodles. It's incredible how quick my mom can make a lasagna, in this way.
While wearing pleather, no doubt.
Yeah. My mom, yeah, she's more of a Ann Taylor Loft. Yeah.
Sweater, little sweater sets.
Little sweater set. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And the key ingredient, I would say, there's a few key ingredients, but there's definitely Tony's in it. Gotta have some Tony's in the lasagna sauce because you gotta have a little zing. It's gotta be tangy, I don't know if you know what Tony Chachere's is. Some people call it Tony Chachere's. It is the salt of Southern Louisiana. Like people don't give a shit about salt at home. They care about Tony Chachere's, and it's basically like it's like ultimately great on seafood, but I use it on everything. Like my family's so sick of Tony's going on everything. And now my kids are like, can you put some more Tony's on this? Because it's superior. It just is. But the key ingredient, and I swear by it, is a mixture of half ricotta, half cottage cheese.
Okay, yeah.
Have you ever had lasagna with cottage cheese? If you haven't, you have.
Yeah,
You have.
I feel like in the 80s, that was a thing people were doing, probably because there was that cottage cheese health craze.
The weight loss thing. That's probably where it came from for my mom. But like, I, at this point, am disappointed in ricotta cheese in my lasagna. I'm just like, boy, I wish there were some little chunky vomitous nuggets inside of this lasagna. And low cheese in general, too, is like low cheese content, Yeah, her lasagna it's that and crawfish and like boiled crabs are probably my favorite things I could possibly eat. But if it had to be one thing, it would be Mom's New Italian lasagna.
Is there any meat in it, or is it just the cheese?
Yeah, there's meat in it. When I cook it, I will season the meat, but my mom wouldn't even do that. She would just put it in a pan, crisp it up, and put it in and let the sauces take care of the rest.
I feel like a crawfish lasagna would actually be pretty good with chunks of it. I mean, someone else would have to pick that apart because it would take forever.
Yeah, crawfish lasagna would be incredible. Yeah, you'd probably just have to like put them in raw.
Yeah, so you don't overcook it. Yeah.
Yeah, because like cooking crawfish is just a sweet spot. Yeah, I mean, a crawfish lasagna would be incredible. I mean, yeah, it would be like basically like a crawfish etouffee inside of a lasagna with like a little bit of like rice and, your standard like, Cajun veggies. And you could even have some okra in there. That would be, I think we just figured something out.
A Cajun lasagna. Get
Cajun
Tony.
Lasagna. Yeah. I'm sure there's 20 Cajun lasagnas in New Orleans right now. I'm sure of it.
Have you made your mom's version as an adult? Like perfect version? Okay, so you don't need her to make it. You can replicate it.
No, I don't need her to make it. I can replicate it, but it's better if she makes it.
Yeah.
And it's better if she brings it over to me and then like any good Italian mom sits down next to me and watches me eat it. That's what I do with my kids now. I really don't care if I eat or not, because if I've made something that they like and I can bring it over to them and lay it down and watch them eat, it's excellent.
I'm Jewish, that like Italian Jewish kind of crossover with food and culture, because you just saying that, sorry, TMI, when I go visit my parents, my mom likes to sit and watch me shower.
Yeah, no, 100%. They like to what is the phrase? It's like they really like to take witness. You know what I mean? They really just want to they want to post up.
Yeah.
And get a little chair out and maybe have a coffee and
Just watch.
and just watch
Gaze.
and chat. And yeah, exactly. I
Yeah.
made that. Yeah.
Totally. And I don't have kids, so I'll never understand like wanting to watch an adult woman take a shower and just be like,
Yeah.
yeah.
If my kids would let me, I would totally do it. But, you come into a bathroom, they're teenagers now. I mean, you just so much as crack the door not knowing they're there. It's just the fury of the gods coming back at you.
Maybe in their 30s she'll become lucky. That's when it started for me.
Yeah.
Could you eat 1,000 Pop-Tarts in 5 months? Would you host 45 strangers at your house 2 months out of each year? Would you eat a hamburger that a stranger handed you on the side of the road? After the break, I am very excited to talk about trail angels and trail magic on the Pacific Crest Trail. If you're into hiking or you read the book Wild by Cheryl Strayed, you're probably familiar with the Pacific Crest Trail. The PCT is a 2,653-mile thru hike starting in California at the Mexican border and spanning all the way up to the tippy top of Washington state at the Canadian border. The route passes through 7 national parks, and it takes the average hiker 5 months to complete the PCT. So that's 5 months of camping almost every night, 5 months of carrying everything you need on your back, 5 months of eating trail food, and eventually climbing a total of 489,000 feet. I love hiking. It's pretty much my favorite thing to do, but I will never do the PCT. It is way too hardcore for me, but I feel like everyone who's done it is pretty much the coolest person ever.
I have section hiked the PCT from the Mexican border all the way to LA. I have not gone further north, but I do love the PCT dearly. And I might actually be dropping my brother off for a section of the PCT in 2 weeks. But I'm a big hiker and camper in general.
So when you section hike it, do you start at the place that you stopped last time, or do you kind of jump around?
Correct.
Okay.
I go back to where I left off and I continue. So I'm going in a continuous line south to north. It's been quite a pause. I have not been back there in a while, but in my mind, I'm going to finish that thing. I'm going to go all the way to Canada.
Yeah. Well, that's a nice way to do it because then you can choose what weather you want and what time of year.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the truth is like taking 5 months when I have kids to like go be on a trail just seems like a shitty dad thing to do. So
yeah. Would you want to do the whole 5 months? Because to me, as someone who loves all that, that's too much for me. I think
it's
backpacking every night.
I generally find that once I've been out for about 3 nights, I've gotten like 97% of the benefit. I mean, who knows what will happen or whatever, but like in terms of like what we all need, which is like reconnecting with nature and wiping the slate clean and just like offloading all of that free floating anxiety that we all live in. It's all pretty much gone by the end of the second day for me. I'm also not interested in like torturing myself anymore. I've done plenty of that in my life, and that's not what I'm looking for anymore.
What do you bring when you're hiking on the trail? What is your food of choice?
I try to keep it healthy as usual. So, the go-to is just going to REI and getting the dried food packs. Mm-hmm. They can be a little expensive, but if you're only going out for 5 days, then that's okay. I have gotten into, as of late, having dried rice and dried beans, and I'll do like a Cajun packet and I'll do a Mexican packet, homemade stuff. I learned this cool trick. If you have a Ziploc bag, and it's probably not the best idea with plastics now that I'm thinking about it, but you have a Ziploc bag full of rice and beans, and you just strap it to the top of your pack, and you let the sun heat it up for the last 2 hours.
With cold water in it?
Yeah, you put cold water in it, and you just let the sun heat it up, and it let all the rice and the beans absorb the water, and the sun's heating it up if you have a warm day. That's a really cool way to do it. And you don't even have to pull out your stove at the end because you usually have like a very warm, very like deep soaked rice and beans ready to go. That's a go-to for me now. And then I try to bring athletic greens packets. You know what that is? A lazy one.
Advertised on every podcast.
I mean, truly, but it is. I will say, if you're looking for a way to get your greens on trail, it's very, very hard to beat.
Do you do this ever? Anytime I'm in a gas station or I'm at a hotel, I'm stealing packets, saving them for summer. Like the little Jif peanut butters from like a breakfast buffet thing. Like I'm taking them all.
That's gold. Tapatio zipper packet.
Yes.
I mean, a Tapatio packet is absolute gold. Yes.
Yes.
All the little mini packets. And of course, like my own little go pack of Tony Chachere's is like, that's the most important. Yeah.
I love the minis. On long distance hikes like the PCT or the Appalachian Trail, there are people called trail angels passing out trail magic. These are just nice, generous, everyday people who will stand near a trailhead and pass out snacks and drinks to hikers who have been living off bars and cold oatmeal. Did you take advantage of the trail angel stuff? Like, were you pretending you were out there for 5 months? You're like, I need an apple.
Dude, you're in 3 days and you got 2 more days left and somebody has left a frickin' cheeseburger on the side of the road. You're eating it. I mean, like, you will eat anything.
They leave cheeseburgers on the side of the road?
Yeah, I mean, they usually don't leave that. They'll be there and they may have bought 20 McDonald's cheeseburgers kind of thing, you know. Mark and I have trail angeled as well. Like we'll go out there every once in a while. And there's one spot that we can get to. I mean, honestly, it's probably an hour and 15 minutes from my house in LA where we can drive up and hit a spot in the PCT where hikers have not seen a town for a couple of days and they won't see a town for another couple of days. And so we'll bring all kinds of cool stuff out there. Like, you know what the biggest hit was the last time we did it? Salads.
Yeah, that makes sense because people start craving really fresh, cold, crunchy.
Fresh, cold greens. Greens in general are just super hard to get on trail. We basically just took 30 Ziploc bags and we got those, you know, we went to Vaughn's and got those giant things of spinach and mixed greens. You know, we just took a handful and jammed it into each Ziploc bag. And then we just put croutons in and then you just put a little dressing in and you just shake it up. They went nuts for that. I mean, it was just, and because I had been out there enough to know okay, these are going to be some cool things. And there's obviously other things that are very obvious. If you have a cooler out there, you know, and you can, you know, put a Miller Lite, you can't beat it. You know, any light beer that's not going to bog you down, but just very cold, give you a little bit of a buzz. I mean, that's just the dream. But it's funny. It's we weren't sure about the salads, but we were like, let's just try this and see. It was nobody turned down a salad, you know, and there's a lot of 21-year-old boys out there who want nothing to do with salad prior to the PCT. But, you know, you get out there and you just, your body is craving certain things that it's just not getting. And just fresh greens is for sure one of them.
That's so fun to stand out there and do it. I mean, it is that cheesy thing, giving is sometimes more fun than receiving. And that sounds like an example of that. Yeah.
So fun. And, you know, they sit down with you while they're eating and they talk to you and they tell you what they're up to. And it's great stories. And, you know, it's great to draft off of that high and that excitement. And also, you know, you're in the early stages of the PCT. You're probably 400 miles in when you get to LA. So, you know, you got some fresh chickens out there that are still hopeful.
Yeah, I know, because I live in Seattle. And so I've run into people hiking at Crater Lake and they've been at it for a while. But I will say these people, maybe because they were younger, we gave them a ride somewhere. They looked so hot, attractive. I was like, how do you look like this? I've been camping for 2 days.
Because they're pro athletes at that point. And they've been out in the sun. Everything has been optimized. They're gorgeous.
Glowing.
Glowing. Yes. Yes. Fine line between hipster and homeless, though, you know.
Totally.
They're both. They're both at that point in time. They're a third pro athlete, third hipster, third homeless person. Very attractive people out there.
Trail angels are a big part of the PCT thru-hiker experience.
Trail angel is anyone who's done some act of kindness toward a hiker, large or small.
That's Barney Mann. But in the PCT community, he's known as Scout. What are some examples of that?
Getting a hitch ride into town. Someone sits up at a trailhead with table, chairs, coolers.
Grill maybe, giving out hot dogs.
Yeah.
That's Sandy Mann, Barney's wife. Her trail name is Frodo.
Hot dogs, hamburgers, beer. Although I think my personal favorite is to get the little juice boxes of chocolate milk.
It seems like people want cold things and fresh things.
And fat.
Fat and salt.
Scout and Frodo are legendary PCT trail angels, widely known throughout the community. For over 17 years, they hosted more than 8,000 hikers at their home in San Diego, up to 45 people a night. Tell me about your house. Where are they sleeping?
We're on a cul-de-sac, residential neighborhood in San Diego.
With really nice neighbors.
We have really understanding neighbors. Big Agnes, outdoor company, heard what we're doing and said, how can we help? Well, I looked at their catalog and said, if you would like to donate 3 of your 6-person tents, we'd be happy to accept it. They did. We had a tree house in the backyard I'd done years ago with a loft with a queen-size mattress in it.
Tent trailer out in the front yard that we could put up.
We had 5 bedrooms, and lucky hikers, especially couples, might get to sleep inside the house. We'd feed them.
Since they were in San Diego, right by the Mexican border, Scout and Frodo were hosting folks who were just about to start hiking the PCT. They'd pick up hikers from the airport or bus or train stations and wake up early to drop them off at a trailhead 60 miles away. So you weren't helping people who were already exhausted and worn out and hungry. You were there when they were fresh and rosy.
And they're clean. They don't smell.
And they don't have their hiker hunger yet.
Scout and Frodo hosted their first thru-hikers in 2006, 17 people over the course of 2 months. The next year, in 2007, they decided to hike the PCT. It took them 155 days, hiking around 20 miles a day. Did you have any trail magic on your hike?
Lots.
Lots and lots.
We're overlooking Crystal Mountain in southern Washington. We've hiked up this hill from Chinook Pass, I think. And there's a guy sitting there. He's on a day hike. He's eating pizza and Diet Pepsi. And he turns to us and he says, hey, would you like a piece of pizza? And I've got an extra soda. It makes your day. In southern Oregon, there was a gentleman who we met, who we've stayed friends with, a musician. He plays the cello. But he was there with cucumber sandwiches and fresh fruit.
And drinks.
Yeah.
Sitting in his chair, and he brought a couple of other folding chairs. And we were all happy.
It is very common for thru-hikers to pack up boxes of supplies before they leave home. Non-perishable food, new socks, new hiking boots, and have them sent to post offices along the route so that future them can restock. Scout and Frodo sent themselves homemade dehydrated meals and other foods.
And our tradition was always, every breakfast, hot chocolate and instant oatmeal. And before we left, what did you ask me?
Are you sure you're going to want to have this every morning? Are you sure you want to fire up the stove every morning?
And I go, yup.
We prepared the boxes for our first 700 miles.
We have our first breakfast together on the trail. And soon after we're hiking, I look at her and I say, we just can't do this. We can't afford the time. We're doing 20 miles a day, and we can't afford an extra 20 minutes. So all these boxes have been mailed for the first 700 miles, right? And I'd apologize once again.
So we switched to mostly like Pop-Tarts and cereal bars and things like that.
Yeah.
That you could eat while you're hiking.
And your pocket in your hiking shirt, it's your Pop-Top warmer. Just pop it in there.
Yeah. What did you do with all that oatmeal? Do you just give it away to other people?
In pretty much each of the trail towns, somewhere, either at a post office or a motel that everybody goes to. You put things you don't want in the hiker box. We had one guy who really enjoyed our oatmeal. I think he ate it dry.
When hikers pass through a town, they often treat themselves to hot meals at restaurants.
We had a rule. We couldn't talk about town food until 24 hours beforehand.
Is that because if you started talking about it, you would talk about food nonstop?
Think about it.
Think about it. And you got some hard days out there. You're generally doing 20-mile plus days. You're hiking 10, 12, 14 hours a day. You cannot get anywhere near enough calories. You're expending 4,000 to 6,000 calories a day. And on trail, you can't begin to catch up. So in town, we tend to eat an obscene amounts of food.
Always looking for milkshakes and onion rings, which I don't eat in real life.
Scout says some hikers create food challenges for themselves.
6'6", big guy. And his goal on the trail was to eat 1,000 Pop-Tarts on this 5-month journey. The last day, he is within 18 Pop-Tarts.
They would do these food challenges from town to town just to mix things up and make things interesting.
And this one for a 77-mile stretch was, you can only eat one food for this entire time. What is it? And let's go get it at the Walmart we went into. 2 of them chose peanut M&Ms.
And they don't want to ever see another peanut M&M in their life.
I bet. That doesn't sound like an ideal option. It sounds kind of dry. Okay, let's get back to Scout and Frodo's house. Over that 2.5 month period, they offer their guests breakfast and dinner. They pay for everything, and they do not accept donations. But they do accept help. Volunteers help with the driving and the cooking. What were some meals that you were making all the time?
So breakfast, we always had a frittata with chopped, like hatch chilies, mild chilies, lots of eggs, lots of cheese, some milk. And then we served it with sour cream and salsa. And that was actually really good. We had a hiker say that he'd been having dreams of my frittata. And he came and hiked the trail a second time.
And if they weren't dreaming of that, they were dreaming of your pumpkin muffins.
And then we usually had pumpkin muffins, sometimes blueberry muffins.
Fresh from the oven.
Yep.
I do fruit. I'd cut up a couple pineapples or cantaloupe. Neighbor had bananas. Neighbor had an orange tree. And do sliced up oranges. Sometimes strawberries when they were in season at the house. Always do a steel cut oats. I actually had Backpacker Magazine did an article on my steel cut oats. Began with, hey, Scout, there's this Reddit thread and everyone's wondering what the recipe was. And steel cut oats always had alongside it craisins, chopped nuts, and brown sugar. And I'd stand there because, oatmeal looks like oatmeal, but Bob's steel cut oats is something else. And when they took this little dainty spoonful of brown sugar, I tell them, your parents aren't here. Take as much brown sugar as you want. And that was breakfast.
Dinners, we rotated a few casserole type dinners.
We both like to cook. So we do a chicken paprikas. We stole a chicken chopped salad recipe from a California pizza kitchen and augmented it.
One thing was that it was a challenge. We'd have people who were vegan, people who were lactose intolerant, people who were gluten-free. So sometimes we would do these things where it was like, you decide what you put on your burrito. You decide what you put on your salad.
The one things we did is have hikers help us. I'd lay out 5 or 6 cutting boards with the ingredients alongside them, and I asked for volunteers, and I'd also be trampled. Oh, can I help Scout? Can I help Scout? We make a drop biscuits. For salads, all the different colored things you put on top. We'd wear our chef hats. It was a lot of fun.
But we'd also do like stuffed shells, chili with cornbread. We always had some kind of vegetable, roasted vegetable on the side. We tended to have dessert that they didn't need a plate or a fork for. So cupcakes, brownies, cookies, things like that.
Once a season, when the number's a little bit low, just to have fun, we do a real fancy meal outside. We bring out the tables outside. We do a printed menu like the old railroad cars and have a fancy dessert, have cloth napkins, and just make it a lot of fun.
So that was a lottery. People would happen to be there on the day when you were doing fancy night.
Right.
Yeah.
You're spending thousands of dollars a season. You're opening up your home. You're waking up at 4:30 in the morning. You're making spreadsheets. This is kind of a round the clock thing for these, 2 or 3 months every year. Why? What are you getting out of this? What do you love about this?
Hikers are cool people. After our hike, it was nice to hang out with people who wanted to hear our stories. We love to talk about our hike and about the trail.
It is such a win-win. Very often these people have minor or large emergencies, and we get to help them. We had 3 kids, and everyone who walked into our house in a year, we felt, whether they were 20 or 65, for these moments, you're another one of our children. And so many odd things, such as we saved our local post office. Our local post office was on the congressional list to be closed. And all of a sudden, because people were mailing packages to our house, a couple thousand.
And also mailing lots of
mailing them out for those 2 or 3 months, it actually put them over the top. Our local AT&T store, 1/3 of the people internationals that come in, they need to get a new SIM card. We were responsible for 2/3 of their new plans a month. In fact, they would come over and they'd sit up on our front deck, AT&T. They'd bring their iPad and the SIM cards, and they'd get 12, 15 new plans going that day. Getting up at 4:30 every morning was a lot, but it was a heck of a lot of fun too.
It was.
Coming up after the break, Jay tells me what he ate when he was a struggling filmmaker, and I'll tell you why AI is concerned about his eating habits. Jay graduated from the University of Texas in Austin and stuck around for many years trying to make it as a filmmaker. And the one that finally launched his career is a bit unexpected. It's a 7-minute short called This Is John. The film has one character, his brother Mark. It was shot in their apartment. It cost them $3 to make, and it was accepted into the Sundance Film Festival. It won several awards. It got them signed with talent agents, and it got them their first major script deal. I read that when you were in your early filmmaking days, you ate a lot of PB&Js. This is what AI said when I Googled this. It said, a man who spent several lean years leaning largely on peanut butter and jelly sandwiches in pursuit of a dream.
Yeah, I thought I was going to be an academic. I went to college at University of Texas, and my last year I switched to film and honestly lived in Austin for 8 more years after college until that first film got into Sundance, and it was the first really good piece of art that I think I made. And I was trying very consistently during that time. And, you know, what I just did, honestly, is I just minimized all my living expenses, lived on the south side of town, you know, worked enough to get by. And at that time, it was about $15,000, $20,000 a year. So I'd only work about, I'd do part-time work, basically. And then I was just constantly making stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know, eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and just ordering an extra large Gumby's pizza. There was a brand of pizza called Gumby's back then where you could just get like 2 extra larges for like $15. And I would get that and I would just put it in the fridge and just eat pizza all week and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. It just helped me keep my expenses down while I could figure out what the hell I was doing, because it did not come easy or quick for me.
AI also, I wasn't looking for AI. This is just the stuff that came up at the top. AI also
Yeah.
said it must have been very hard for you coming from New Orleans, a culture of delicious food, to have to live on peanut butter and jelly. I'm like, AI, wow, you're concerned.
Wow, AI. Wow, they're concerned for the loss of my cultural heritage during the lean years. That's funny because my friend David Zellner, who's an acclaimed filmmaker, was one of my closest friends and is still. But during those lean years in Austin, I remember him calling me and being super serious at some point. He's like, Jay, he's like, I think we need to make a pilgrimage because a restaurant in town has come up with something that really supports your cultural heritage. And he's like, the McDonald's is now serving Cajun McChicken sandwiches. And he came and picked me up and we went and had a Cajun McChicken sandwich.
How was it?
Awful, I'm sure. I don't even remember. It didn't even matter at the time, you know. But yeah, you know what? Might have been great. Who knows?
Who knows?
I can't tell if McDonald's has gone down or if just my taste buds have come up. I think it's probably a combination of both.
Yeah.
But I do feel like burgers when we were kids at McDonald's tasted better than they do now, you know? Yeah. So we had a Cajun McChicken sandwich in honor of my cultural heritage during the lean years.
Yes. I went to the most beautiful McDonald's Taco Bell combo in the world. They say in Guatemala. It was in this beautiful garden. I mean, it was gorgeous. It was so weird. How do you take your PB&Js?
I would say now it would be very specific because I do eat a PB&J every once in a while, but it's classed up quite a bit. It would be Dave's Killer multigrain bread. It would be no palm oil, peanut butter from like Whole Foods or Trader Joe's. And it would be a low sugar raspberry preserves.
Guess who's become his parents?
Oh, yeah, totally. I've outdone them. I've totally outdone them. I've like Californiaized the Cajun menu. I make a super healthy red beans and rice. I make a super healthy jambalaya. I make a super healthy huevos rancheros. White guy huevos rancheros is what I call it.
Yeah. How do you make all these foods healthy? And does red beans and rice, was that not very healthy to start with?
Red beans and rice is pretty healthy, but a lot of people use some serious pork products in their red beans and rice. I mean, it's the core thing is a giant ham hock. And I will cook with those every once in a while because, like, my dad will get us like a honey baked ham for Easter sometimes, and then I'll just take the core of that. And boy, I mean, you're talking about such a revved up red beans and rice because you not only got all the pork, but all the sugar and the salt. But my white guy, huevos rancheros, total cultural appropriation going on here is, well, it is a little Cajunized, I will say. I'm using like just straight brown rice, like whole grain brown rice. And I will usually use like, I think they're called northern beans, but they're just white beans, you know what I mean? And it's like a typical Italian thing.
Yes.
So those are the beans and the rice. And I'll mash them up a little bit. I won't refry them, but I'll mash them up a little so they have a refried vibe. And I will put...
Refried vibe is such a California thing to say.
Refried vibe. Yeah, I know. And then I'll also sprinkle Tony Chachere's, over medium eggs with the beans and the rice, and I'll put some Tonys on it, and I'll grill some onions and put it in there. It is almost like a Cajun red beans and rice. Probably my ultimate favorite food is crawfish, period, end of story. I mean, it's the greatest tasting food in the world. And I rarely have it just because, like, to get it in the quantity that I would normally eat it, is like $100. But if you're in New Orleans, you can get, just a couple of pounds and you can go to town for $25. Also, peeling and eating crawfish is like an all-day affair, It's like, even though I'm super fast at it, like it still takes time. So
yeah.
But I do love that food.
And that was Jay Duplass's last meal. Jay's latest film is called See You When I See You. It is still making the festival rounds. Special thanks to SIFF, the Seattle International Film Festival. They screen movies at their theaters year-round. So get out and support independent cinema wherever you live. We have to keep the last remaining places open. Thanks to Barney and Sandy Mann. Last year, Scout and Frodo retired from hosting hikers and moved across the country to be closer to their grandchildren. Barney wrote a book about their PCT experience. It's called Journeys North. Your Last Meal is a product of Seattle's Cascade PBS. Go to cascadepbs.org to become a member, and for as little as $7 a month, you'll get on-demand access to all PBS programming. And season 3 of my food and drink storytelling show, The Nosh, is streaming now. If you haven't seen the show, they are these nice, compact 8.5-minute bites, and the show is beautifully shot. We shoot it documentary style, and new episodes drop every Thursday. Today's episode is all about cake. Find a link to watch in the show notes. Go to cascadepbs.org. You can watch on the Cascade PBS app or search The Nosh on YouTube. This episode was produced by me and senior producer Sarah Bernard, who also mixed and mastered it. Original theme music by Prom Queen. I'm Rachel Bell, and this is Your Last Meal.
Hey, Alexa, stop. Sorry, some jams kicking on in the background.
We met at a summer camp for kids.
He was the camp director.
Yeah, and she was a counselor.
I was a backpacker at that point, very much into it. So I told him that had he not been a backpacker, I would not have married him.
So we wouldn't be sitting here 49 years later.
I get it. That's one of my requirements is must hike because it's a lifestyle. It's not just a hobby. It's how you want to spend all of your vacation time.
Yeah. Tells you something about the person's values and how they value the outdoors.